Well, the murky world of sleep, we just never seem to be able to get enough of it, do we? If you have a question that is sleep related, you can call us now, 1300 222 774. Moira Junge is with us, psychologist with the Sleep Health Foundation. Moira, welcome to Afternoons.
Hello, Michelle.
Sleep, it is a part of all of our lives. Some of us have plenty of it. Some of us wish we had plenty of it. And sometimes it feels like it's driving us quite literally insane. It's big, isn't it?
It is. It's huge. It's a massive part of our mental health, our physical health. It's just as important as our physical fitness and our nutrition. And it's great that we have the opportunity to start speaking about it.
Yeah.
You know, on the radio, on the TV. People are starting to have conversations about it in the tea room. How important it is, and it's a great pleasure to be here today.
Now, night owl, there's some interesting research around about trying to train yourself not to be a night owl, to try and get up, say, when the rest of the family gets up and to not feel tired. But I guess my first question is, like the text that we had, is being a night owl really that bad for you?
No, not at all. Except it really doesn't fit in with societal norms. So the problem is it's largely genetic. It runs in families. Your tendency to either be a night owl or a lark. Yeah. It's an enduring quality, just the same as other, like a personality trait, like your introversion or extroversion. But like that, it's a spectrum. So most people are just in the middle. Most people are neither extremes. I think there's about maybe 10 or 20% at either end, and the rest of us are in the middle. So the person who's saying, it's a really good point, saying, why, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it's societal norms say that getting up early, rising early is the hardworking person. I think you remember lots of rousing speeches, including Julia Gillard's from 2010 when she became Prime Minister. She did mention how she pledged that she's going to set her alarm clock early and she's going to work hard for us. And so then you think...
myth around it.
Yeah.
But if I think of some of the hardest working people that I've known or grown up with, it's those people that work night shifts and long hours and around the clock.
Yes.
And they're the ones that I think, all right, now you're putting it in for society, and without you doing the work in the middle of the night that we don't know happens, and somehow the world just magically clicks over because of the people that work during the night.
Yeah, and then the caller or the listener who's studying, the trouble with staying up late and having young children or other types of work, other commitments that make you have to get up at the crack of dawn, or when it's societal times. Like work and school start early. There's been talk for more than 20 years of making adolescents start later. Some schools are trialling that. 9:30 or 10 o'clock is a much more appropriate time, but it's not going to happen because it doesn't fit in with the rest of the family necessarily. So it's a really big topic. I think there's going to be lots of discussion today.
1300 222 774. If you have a question for Moira, whether it's on changing habits of being a night owl if possible, or anything else sleep related, maybe you've got a sleep talker or a sleep walker in your household, or you're just struggling to get back to sleep. Ladies, I spent the first 15 years of my working life doing graveyard shifts. It didn't bother me in the slightest because I was always out late on the weekends. But since I moved back about 10 years ago, I just can't seem to get it sorted. And I find myself every day wanting to go to sleep at 10 in the morning, which would be a problem, except for the fact that I still have plenty of work to do because I'm at work. Does it change as we age?
Definitely, there's definitely changes across the lifespan in terms of our hours of sleep need, and our ability to bounce back with sleep deprivation or even hangovers and the like. We're not as robust as we used to be. Everything, our skin quality, the hair goes grey. Sleep's the same thing. It's just not what it used to be. So that person that used to cope with the graveyard shift much better, it is unfortunately just a function of age and probably just busyness now. There's not the time in her week, I think it was a she, but I'm not sure, to be able to catch up, just to be able to have a little nap here and there, and to be able to just bounce back from those shifts.
And how important is napping? Because I have a text here as well saying not only do some of us keep everything ticking over by working at night, but we also have to try and sleep during the day. And that's easier said than done. Sleeping during the day, daytime's noisy.
It is. It's actually, it's It's a really difficult thing for a lot of people to actually create the conditions to be able to nap during the day. So we do encourage really good quality block-out blinds, earplugs, respect around the family, devices being turned off, etc. But it is a really hard one. But napping is good. I want people there's a real misconception about napping, because when people talk about, of course you don't need to sleep the day away. If you're someone who's sleeping at night as well, if you're having like a 2-3 hour sleep, that's not a nap, that's a sleep chunk.
Yes.
A nap is like the short word that it is. It's like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, power
Yes,
sleep.
yes.
But sometimes it can take 20 or 30 minutes just to get to sleep.
I can. So I encourage people to at least enjoy the rest and set their alarm for, say, 40 minutes in case they do take a while to initiate sleep. And then they're still awake, though, at the 20, 30-minute mark, they get woken up again. Because if you do sleep for too long, if you sleep longer than 20 or 30 minutes at a time, you will more likely go into deep sleep. And so that's a problem then when you get out of it. You wake up and you're a bit groggy. You have this sort of disorientation. It's called sleep
what
inertia.
day it is.
Yes. Yeah. It takes you about 10 minutes to work out
I can remember waking up in the middle of the night as a young girl and getting dressed for school and kind of all of a sudden being like,
it was 4 a.m.
What's going on? And I think I went back to bed in my uniform. It just made life a little easier. Yeah. You can call us and you ask a question of Moira. Please don't leave it to the last minute and all the calls flood in and then we can't get through them all. So if you have a sleep-related question, Moira's here to take your calls. 1300 222 774. She's from the Sleep Health Foundation. It doesn't just have to be about being a night owl, but anything sleep-related in your life, or maybe there's someone in your life as well that has a disruption in their sleep or is disrupting your sleep. 1300 222 774 and you can text 0437 774 774. Lots of information and texts around, why is it that we can't wind our brains down in the middle of the night? That 3 a.m. wake up and we feel like we need to solve the problems of the world at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's a manifestation of something that's been going on during the day. So it's reflecting at night. It hasn't just spontaneously come at night. It's just that once everything else is quiet, you've got a chance then everything else is quieter. You don't have your distractions of work, of Netflix or anything else that's distracting you. And then you realise then that the stuff that it's been unresolved from the day. So we're really doing, and I've
try and do it before you go to bed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had it recently, actually. I better practice what I preach, which is if it's been longer than 20 minutes, it's been lying there, tossing, turning, getting frustrated, just get up, go somewhere else, go to the lounge room. What I did is actually, you don't want to go and watch something stimulating or have the lights on, just dim lighting. Wait until you just get sleepy and tired again. Maybe externalise, write a list of all the things that's swirling around and think, all right, I'll get that sorted. And lo and behold, you do get sleepy again because generally your melatonin and your body temperature and all the conditions are still there. The only thing that's been interrupting it is this swirling, busy mind.
And then often once you get up in the morning, you go, you know what, actually it wasn't that big a deal.
Absolutely. It's never as bad as... Looney's got a wonderful cartoon about that. It's called The Great Whale of Doom. And at 3 o'clock, the world's ending. And then he's sort of sitting at the breakfast table and takes a bit of a while, has some toast and a cup of tea, and takes about half an hour. And all of a sudden, the Great Whale of Doom is sardines on toast.
Nothing like toast and a cup of tea to make it all okay.
It's all okay, yeah.
John's called in. Hi, John. What was your question for Moira?
Oh, hi. I had sort of two questions. One, I tend to wake up multiple times in the night and go back to sleep. But I was just wondering, essentially, how to, I guess, not do that. And the other one was what would be the easiest way to wake up in the morning?
Okay.
Two good questions.
Yeah, let's go with the first one. Waking up during the night regularly is actually very common. It's actually normal and typical. But what's not normal and typical is to stay awake for ages and not being able to reinitiate sleep. So it depends. Sounds like you are able to go back to sleep. So I would, in this stage, just say don't worry about it too much. Don't even look at the clock. Don't monitor how much it's happening, etc. I think it's all of us up to about 5 times an hour are allowed to wake